Hello friends. So today we are going to start a new chapter which is the output stages and power amplifiers. Okay. So let us begin with the introduction. So what is the main function of the output stage? So the important function of the output stage is to provide the amplifier with a low output resistance so that it can deliver the output signal to the load without the loss of gain. So in the chapter feedback amplifier, we have seen this property in much detail that if the output resistance of the voltage amplifier is low, then the load will get the most of the voltage. Okay, so V naught will be more, it means the gain will be more, so the loss of gain will be less. Okay. So now, what is the main challenge while designing? So the most challenging requirement in the design of an output stage is for it to deliver the required amount of power to the load in an efficient manner. Now what does it mean? It means that the power dissipated in the output stage transistors must be as low as possible. Okay, why? See, when the transistor dissipates power to the load, okay, so while dissipating the power transfer, it the internal junction temperature will increase. Okay, and there is a maximum temperature above which the transistor is destroyed. Okay, this range is about 150 degrees centigrade to 200 degrees centigrade for a silicon device. Okay, so that's why the power dissipated in the output stage transistor must be very low. Okay, so that we can save the transistor. Okay, apart from that, a high power conversion efficiency also required. Okay, with due course of time we'll study in detail that what is the conversion efficiency, and that is the main point of discussion actually. Okay, so this we'll discuss later. Now why it required? So that the life of batteries which are used in the battery power circuits can be increased. Okay, and we can allow a smaller lower cost power supply, and also we can remove the need for cooling fans. Okay, so this we'll see in detail. So what is a power amplifier? A power amplifier is simply an amplifier with a high power output stage. Okay, now here is a practical reason. It is observed that BJTs can handle much larger current as compared to the MOSFET. That's why the BJTs are preferred in design the output stages. Some special output stages they use CMOS and MOSFETs also, but BJTs are much preferred here. Okay, so this was the introduction part. Now let us start with the classification. So our first topic will be the classification of output stages. So in the classification of output stages, we are going to see how we are going to classify the output stages. The output stages are classified according to their collector current waveforms, okay, which results when an input signal is applied. Here collector current and emitter current we consider as equal. Okay, because many times we'll use the emitter follower, output will take at emitter. Okay, why emitter follower? Because in the beginning we established that the output resistance should be low, and emitter follower in the case of BJT amplifier and source follower in the case of MOSFET amplifier provides the low output resistance. Okay, so sometimes we will take from collector also, but most of the time we will take from the emitter. We'll use the emitter follower. Okay, so based on the current waveforms we will see the classification of the output stages. Okay, now before going to the formal classification, let us discuss some random concepts here, so which will help to collectively study this topic. Okay, now let us see, we have a BJT, NPN. Okay, and across the emitter I am taking the output here. Okay, and input is applied to the base. Okay, now here collector we already given to some positive voltage here. Okay, now what happened is uh, right now our concentration is to study about the classification, so many practical things we are going to avoid here. Okay, so we are only deal with the ideal things, like we'll consider the AC gain of this amplifier is 1, so the peak to peak input voltage is same as the peak to peak output voltage or currents. Okay, now suppose I applied input signal here. Okay, now this circuit is not biased. Okay, so the suppose this is IC. Okay, IC or IE are same, and here now this circuit is not biased. It means the transistor will be on and off only by the input signal here. Okay, so during positive half cycle, during this time, okay, the transistor will be on. Okay, so that time the output will follow the input. Okay, now during negative half cycle what will happen? Okay, during negative half cycle this is off because a proper voltage has to be maintained here. Okay, so this is off, so that time no current. Okay, so this is what's happening here. Okay, so if I see this from 0 pi to pi, so the input is completely for 0 to 360 degree. 2 pi is 360 degree. Okay, but output we are getting only from 0 to pi or 180 degree. Okay, now what happens if I bias this transistor? Okay, so suppose this transistor, again same, okay, I bias this. So the complete biasing arrangement I'm not showing here. I hope you know what biasing is. If not, then please refer my initial lectures. There I have explained in detail that how to do the biasing and all. Okay, so as of now we assume that we all know what the biasing is. Okay, so this biasing techniques provides some fixed value of the DC current, IC. Okay, so this is the DC current or bias current we got because this transistor is biased to provide this much of IC. Okay, now suppose this input is applied. Okay, the peak value of the input signal is, let's say, IP. Okay, so from here to here it is plus IP, and from here to here it is minus IP. Okay, so suppose this value from here to here, the DC value, it is greater than IP. Now what happens here is this transistor is always on. Okay, to provide this is IC, so the transistor is on before applying the AC signal here. Okay, the transistor is on because of the DC biasing. In this case, the transistor was not provided the DC biasing, it was on and off only by the sinusoidal current here. Okay, But here the sinusoidal current is superimposed on the bias point here. Okay, so this will always provide a DC value IC. Now we have designed this circuit such that the value of IC is greater than IP, where IP is the peak value of the sine wave. Okay, now what happened? Transistor is always on. Okay, now after that, if we apply the input, the output also will be superimposed. So we will provide, we'll get like this. Okay, because this value is more than this value. Okay, so we'll always get the conduction here. Now what's happening here is, here it is working for the full cycle of the input here. Okay, now what happened if I bias this circuit? Okay, but biasing value is not very high. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I'm not going to draw the circuit again. Suppose the transistor is biased, but the value of biasing means this, the DC IC current is lower than the peak value of the input signal. Okay, that time what will happen? During positive half cycle of the input, since biasing, it will work. Okay, while negative half cycle, for some time it will work till here. Okay, but once it reaches here, no biasing after that, so this will be off. So it will go like this. Okay, again when you start the positive cycle, it will go like this. Understand? Okay, now see, this we call at class B, this class A, and this class AB. Okay, it means class A, the conduction angle is full 360 degree. Okay, for class B, conduction angle is 180 degree. Class AB, it is between A and B. It means, see, here 0, here pi, okay, then here 2 pi. Okay, now what's happening here is, here the conduction angle is between 180 to 360. Okay, means little larger than 180 and much lower than 360. So that's why the name also given as AB. Now one more is there, class C amplifier. In that, what we do is, the output signal is biased, or we can see that the conduction angle is lower than 180 degree, means it will be like this. Okay, so this is 0 and here this is pi. This is the class C. Okay, so here I have explained in random manner. Now let us study this one by one in detail. Okay, or we will revise first. So class A, full 360 degree, you can see here. Class B, 180 degree conduction. Class AB, 180 to 360 degree. Class C, less than 180 degree. This is the main criteria according to which the output stages are classified. Okay, now we are going to see this all one by one, okay, in a formal manner. So let us see first the class A output stage or output amplifier, power amplifier. Okay, okay, so now just draw this again. So this is omega t angle, omega t scale. This is IC. Okay, So we have seen that in a class A amplifier, it will be biased at DC current IC, which is greater than the amplitude or peak of the signal current. So for that, okay, so this is pi, and here this is 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi, okay, and this value, this is the peak current. Okay, so the class A stage is biased at a current IC which is greater than the amplitude of the signal current IP. Okay, so this biasing value is greater than this peak value. Okay, thus the transistor in a class A stage conducts for the entire cycle of the input signal, that is the conduction angle is 360 degrees. So you can see that from 0 to 2 pi completely one cycle is completed. This is class A output stage or power amplifier. Next, class B. Okay, so in class B, either it is not biased or biased at 0 DC current. Okay, so 0, pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, and so on. So it will conduct only for the positive half, then negative half it will not conduct, then again next positive half it will conduct. Okay, so this is your the peak current IP. Okay, so the class B stage is biased at 0 DC current. Thus a transistor in a class B stage conducts for only half the cycle of the input sine wave, resulting in a conduction angle of 180 degree. Okay, now what is the remaining half? This one. If you want complete full, so what we should do? We should use another transistor. Okay, but we have to make sure that when this transistor works, the other does not work. Okay, and vice versa. So the negative half of the sinusoid will be supplied by another transistor that also operate in the class B mode and conducts during the alternate half cycles. Okay, about this we will see in the real circuit when we study the class B stage in coming classes. Okay, next, class AB. Okay, let us see the waveform first. Okay, so class AB is biased non-zero but lower than the peak current of the input signal. Okay, so here for the positive input this also will completely work, but for negative input the output will not work all the time, only little time it will work and then it will repeat. So this is 0, pi, 2 pi, 3 pi. Okay, so the full cycle, so here it is intermediate. So it is an intermediate class between A and B. The transistor is biased at a non-zero DC current much smaller than the peak current of the sine wave. Okay, so this is the peak current. So this IC or DC value is very lesser than this peak current. Okay, So thus the transistor conducts for an interval slightly greater than half a cycle. You can see here, half cycle complete here, it is working greater than that. Okay, so the resulting conduction angle is greater than 180. So you can see that completely greater than 180 here, but much lower than 360, much lower than 360. Okay, now if you want, just like here we wanted another half also, so for this also we are going to have, so the class AB has another transistor that conducts for interval slightly greater than that of the negative half cycle. Okay, and then entire current we will add and provide to the load. Okay, but what is difference here? Here when the positive works, means one transistor works, other does not work. That's why we get this. Okay, but here for the little time both will conduct here. This is one difference. Okay, so during the intervals near the zero crossing of the input sinusoid, both transistor conducts. Okay, now class C. Okay, so class C, here it is made not to work completely. Okay, lower than 180. Okay, so this is 0, this is pi, so suppose this is 2 pi, so again this is 3 pi. Okay, so in class C stage the transistor conducts for an interval shorter than that of a half cycle. Okay, thus the conduction angle is less than 180 degree. Okay, now to obtain the output voltage, what we do, these currents we passed through a parallel LC circuit, okay, which is tuned to the frequency of the input sinusoid. Okay, so about this again we study when we study the class C amplifier in detail. Okay, apart from this, there is one more class D amplifier, okay, which is used for the digital pulse signals and all. So we are not going to study in this course here, because here we are studying only the analog circuits. Okay, so this was the classification. In summary, class A, they conduct for entire 360 degree. Okay, class B, they conduct for only 180 degree. Class AB, larger than 180 degree but much lower than the 360 degree, and class C, lower than 180 degree. Okay, so this is the classification of the output stages. Okay, in next class we will study the class A output stage. Okay, thank you.